Star Trek Lower Decks Review, Season 2, Episode 3.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that programming was done by Mariner just to spite him because he left her.
Oh, you don't think
I
you
could
belong
see her
here? Well,
doing
I don't
something
think you
like that.
belong here either.
Exactly. That's totally something Mariner would do. Although, I mean, I don't blame him for wanting to get his plate signed.
Yeah.
How many fanboys would go through all of that and be like, I got his autograph.
I do like the
Myself
ending.
included.
I love the ending with him walking into the seamed wall. And it's like, well, not
Yes.
again. But he's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, I might have a concussion. Okay.
Yeah. I might have a concussion. Oh well. Time to
Yeah.
go see Tom Paris.
Yeah.
Yay. And see another guest star voiced by the actual character by the actual actor.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. What was Paris's rank?
Lieutenant. He
Still?
was still a lieutenant.
Of course.
Yeah.
Um,
He probably got demoted a few times again since getting back. Or he might have had to be, go through and be recertified because technically he was a criminal and, so he
yeah.
had to be recertified and all that. Just like, I'm pretty sure the Maquis, all of them had to go through a lot of recertification and reintegration before they were allowed to rejoin Starfleet.
Yeah. How much you want to...
But
I was going to say, how much you want to bet that Mariner may have had something to do with the systems not recognizing Boimler?
That's what she said
because
just a
she's
minute
still
ago.
mad at him.
I said,
oh, sorry.
She just said that a minute ago.
Sorry, the mowing is very loud and annoying.
Okay.
yeah.
That would be not shocking.
Yeah, so he's probably still a lieutenant just because of that, because of the, all the hoops he's got to jump through. But I mean, imagine B'Elanna having to go through because she dropped out of school. So she probably had to do like a recertification course or at least like a recertification exams and stuff.
Or possibly, like, what... like, my brain is blanking on what Paris looked like for this episode, but, like, was he wearing his Voy uniform at the time?
Don't remember, but maybe it is just after Boy came back. But then, how did Boimler have all those other autographs already?
Yeah, I don't...
Because he's like, I've got autographs.
That's not what I was going after. I was going after, maybe, since he's on a morale sort of trip, they had him put on his old Voyager uniform, and that still had his lieutenant pins. Yeah, it looks like they've got him in the... Well...
Boy.
Well, wait, that's... Actually, no, weirdly, he's in the... He's not in the Voyager uniform. He's in the DS9 Dominion War uniform. The gray top and the red internal. Oh, wait. Was that... No. Wait. I'm getting my... No. Voyager definitely had the red tops. The shoulder colored. When he was doing that.
Hold on.
Yeah, because they've got the plate, and that's got him that. But no, he's wearing like a DS9 uniform, which is weird. Like, either you'd expect him to be wearing his Voyager uniform, or a modern uniform.
If let me see something. Let's see, Riker Lower Decks, because I think Riker, Riker has the the Titan uses the same uniforms. So it could just be he is on that class, you know?
Or yeah, he's on a ship that uses that uniform.
Exactly.
Which is it's still a little weird, but I guess there's some uh flexibility. Uh
Yeah, it could just be because of the uniform he was wearing, and, you know, because of the ship he serves on now, he's wearing that uniform.
yeah, which kind of discounts the he's wearing his Voyager style uniform, so he's wearing his Voyager rank. I think that's kind of discounts that because he's wearing a completely different uniform. Because if he was going with
Yeah,
that, he would be wearing his Voyager uniform. So it's just
that,
no, he's just a lieutenant. That's it.
yep.
Which is weird. But again, we don't know exactly when this takes place. Like we know it takes place after Riker takes over the Titan. We know that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we can actually place that at least that far out. But I don't know that we ever got a date for when these episodes occur. Like what era? Because they're all close enough to the TNG Voyager DS9 era that Paris still looks young. Riker still
And
looks young.
Riker still looks young, yeah.
Yeah,
So
their guest stars still look young. Um,
it
and
probably is shortly after he came back, and like I said, probably either he's just still the same rank, or he had to be recertified and he's still the same rank now.
yeah, I'm thinking he's going to be a little bit. Yeah, I think it would be a little bit afterwards because he would be doing a whole lot of. Like, he would have a lot of built up leave time. Like,
Yeah,
you just spent a whole bunch of time,
he
besides
just
all
spent
the
7
paperwork,
years.
to reinstate him if he wants to stay in Starfleet. Like, because that's not a given. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like I'm sure a lot of the Maquis are going to not rejoin. They're like, I'm home, screw you guys, you
that was
know?
enough adventure. I'm done. Yeah, there's probably a few of them that did that. But yeah, we don't know what the future looked like for them afterwards. Like they might have expedited sort of um, paperwork and it's like, yeah, you were Maquis, but you worked really well under Voyager. You did all that. We're
And
willing to, yeah,
I'm sure Janeway had some pull after getting her crew home. You
yeah,
know, it's like,
yeah, being admiral,
uh,
which is
yeah.
a heck of a jump because she was a fresh, well, maybe not a fresh captain. Well, I think it was her first command, so it might have been. She might have
No,
just
I
been a.
think it was her second command,
Was it?
if I remember correctly.
But yeah, she
It was
went
a
from.
new ship.
It was a new ship, but like she was acting like she was, you know, like it was brand new, like being her first command or something.
But either way, that's a big fast track either way. Like,
Yeah, if that was her first command, I mean, it's a hell of a
or
first
even
command.
second. Like, either way, even if it's her second, third command, that's still a hell of a thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Da.
Although, I mean, he did say that Harry is still an ensign.
Uh,
Poor Harry. Another lower decker.
yeah, it doesn't look like there was any commands.
But also,
Listed. So
it's probably maybe just a few years after Voyager came home.
yeah. See if it
Although, can we just talk about that PTSD he's got going on there?
Oh, I found a
How-
memory alpha. It says unknown, but it says 2381,
Okay.
which the hmm, which 81 would put 2366 was just clicking on a random episode of TNG. So, like, the end of Voyager is probably something in the range of, I could look that up, but 2370. Well, let me look. End game episode. End game took place. Oh, in universe date 2378. So this is only 3 years after Endgame.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
that's what I suggested. It's just a
Yeah.
few years after.
Yeah. Having
So,
now looked it up, I have confirmation that it was.
yes. So, and
Yeah.
he's still suffering some pretty bad PTSD there. Like,
Yeah. Mistaking
he's
Boimler for a Kazon. It's like, why would there be a Kazon in the
yeah,
on the Cerritos this
yeah,
far in
that
Federation
is
space? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
yeah, but that is just serious flashbacks there. Like, ah, crap, Kazon, kill him. It's like,
Yeah, he's.
I got a black eye from Tom Paris.
Few people can say that, but yeah, he was like, and it makes 3 years is enough time that, like,
They get through
between
all that
all the
paperwork, all that crap, and all the hype, and all the, you know,
things die down enough, and all of the debriefing, because good grief, that'd be
oh
the
my gosh, that would be endless meetings.
okay, yeah, just endless meetings. Just like you sit down for like, they just have somebody, a captain or somebody they can have just, all right, we just want to know, we're just going to go through the logs and you tell us what I got a few questions on different things, and we're just going to go through the different events that happen, and we're just going to go through and we'll just ask you a few questions. And
Yeah.
but for each, but that's like 7 years or whatever it was, and it's like, yeah, this is gonna take a while.
Oh yeah.
Especially Janeway's, because she's got to go. Okay, yes they used ghosts to power the warp core, but they actually turned out to be
Yeah.
sapient beings that they were, and that's why you took down the Equinox. Yes. Okay.
We destroyed the Equinox to save a race that were being enslaved by them.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, a lot of it's going to be, you know what, F it, you were in the Delta Quadrant, like, we want explanations as to why you did what you did, but, like,
She is not going to be reprimanded.
yeah, we're not,
She got,
we want to understand what you did for
she got,
future training, but, like, we can build training scenarios for how we would like our captains to train, but we're not going to judge you for what you had to do out there. Like,
what
and
happens
then
in the Delta Quadrants.
yeah, and the thing about it is, like, they had the micro wormhole, so they sent back when they first got the micro wormhole ready, when
Yes.
Barclay first got that, they sent all of their stuff, and it's like, here's all our logs,
Yeah,
just
so
go. And
it's not like they have a whole bunch of debriefing like that. It's more just, dot the T's, cross the T's, dot the I's, yada yada,
yeah, a few visits from temporal investigation to temporal. It's like, so yeah, this bit, yeah, that, no, don't do that. I know you.
You
You were
did
in. You were
what
in.
with
You were in.
I'm fine with poop?
You were in extreme circumstances, but let's not try and do that again, okay? And
Well, I mean, she did become an admiral in 3 years, so.
yeah, I imagine it was a year of, okay, you just spent 7 years in the harshest environment you could possibly want. We're gonna basically give your entire crew a year off as Starfleet officers. Pretty much everybody's getting a promotion, or at least is getting like a star on
Fast
their
track.
record.
Yeah, and getting fast tracked into Starfleet, because like a lot of them, like I said, they weren't actually Starfleet. They were criminals. They were Maquis, but they acted admirably in the face of adversity. They behaved like good Starfleet officers,
Eventually,
and therefore, eventually, for the most part, aside from a few
yeah. And then you had the
here and
three.
there.
Was it three from the Equinox that that got saved at some point? And so, but yeah, they got a lot
True.
to. They've got probably a few questions to ask. It's like, yeah, we're gonna give you like we're gonna give you a year on Risa. We're just
Yeah.
gonna post like we're gonna have a bunch of
Loads of therapy.
yeah. We're gonna
because
basically have in the mornings. You're gonna have an hour of debriefing where we're going to pick a few more things we want to talk to you about. We'll go through that. Then you have the rest of the day until the afternoon, and then we're going to give you. We're going to have a counselor here, and you're going to talk through some of this stuff.
because there's a shit ton they're gonna have to deal with.
But
Like,
yeah,
that's a load of trauma right there. Like an entire career's worth of loss and just straight up trauma that they have to deal with after 7 years.
yeah. It's gonna be yeah, it's like we're just gonna set you down on Risa for a while. We'll give you a therapy and debrief you on a few things. You just take the rest of the day to relax.
I mean, 7 of 9 in each of 2. Like, poor Icheb. His parents turned him into a weapon. Like,
Well,
he was bred as a weapon against the Borg.
well, and the thing is also to think about is, I know in Picard she still has her implants and whatnot, but like they have like the doctor was sort of just working off what medical knowledge he had at hand. He
Yeah.
didn't have any of the upgrades that Federation had come up with in 7 years. So like she gets back to the Alpha Quadrant and they're like, "Oh yeah, we have tons of research on the Borg now. We know tons. We can actually improve your quality of life a little bit here." And it's like, "Oh yeah, we're going to do this and this and this and we're going to like the doctor did a good job for what he had, but he was limited by what knowledge he had. So here's all the things we've learned since."
Although they learned a lot in the Delta Quadrant, so they might even have more to teach the Alpha Quadrant.
That's the case too. Yeah, that could be the case too, but they could also they also have more heads to look at the data they got in the Delta Quadrant and see new things that they could do for her, and they could improve her quality of life. But yeah, so now that we have defined a year for what this seems to be occurring in was 2381, 3 years after Voyager came back, seemingly. This puts
little baby Miro.
Yeah, that's also another thing. Like, so now there's a 3-year-old morale running around somewhere with their mother. And
I'm pretty sure, even though she was Maquis, B'Elanna get a pass because she was the chief engineer for 6 years. And like, because
Yeah.
I think the chief engineer died during the first year, if I remember correctly.
Well, I think he died during the event, the
Yeah, but
caretaker incident, and then
yeah,
they were they had a Starfleet chief engineer and they had her, but
yeah,
she outcompeted him because she could do the work better than he could.
yeah,
And there was a little bit of a begrudging kind of for a little bit, but they sorted it out.
yeah,
But yeah, there's a little quarter Klingon running around named Morel that was
yeah,
conceived in the Delta Quadrant and born in the Alpha. Well,
yeah. They have these little Voyager kids because there's Miral, there's Icheb, and there's Naomi.
yeah,
Although Icheb and Naomi aren't really kids anymore. They're like adolescents, but
but yeah,
teenagers.
yeah, they're not adults, but uh, yeah. So
Like
he's
Itchy was like 16 or 17, if I remember correctly.
yeah, I don't remember, but he was yeah. So at this point, it's been 3 years. Uh, Paris has got you know uh, he's probably gone through all of his any paperwork he had to do, anything like I'm sure that with all the things in the record, it's like yeah, he got busted down at least once. I can think they gave him a
Yeah,
lieutenant, and then they busted him back down to ensign when he
because of
messed
that
up,
water thing.
and so they busted him down. But then he got his lieutenant back at some point,
Yeah.
and then so being 3 years, he's probably spent the last couple of years, like going through all the paperwork because that does seem like something the Federation would be up to. Would be just like, yeah, we're gonna have a lot of paperwork. Like you don't fit any forms. We're gonna need exceptions of exceptions. It's like, yeah, you weren't. I mean, technically, was he recommissioned for the
Yeah, he was recommissioned to
for the Maquis
to
mission.
collect the Maquis mission.
So technically, at the time, he was if he was commissioned, I can't remember whether it was just sort of he was given a temporary status or it was a full commission for the mission.
Yeah, he was more picked up out of the prison, and it's like, hey,
Yeah,
you do this, you're free to go. Your time, you're free to go.
yeah,
That's basically what it was.
yeah, which yeah, we don't. But at this point, like with all the black marks on his record, like that's gonna get shuffled under all the good stuff he did on that 7-year journey. And
Mm-hmm.
being that he is probably one of the most talented pilot, he was already one of the most talented pilots in the Federation. Like that's the whole reason they grabbed him from the prison was that he was a pilot. He could pilot that.
Yeah, he can maneuver the Badlands when no one else could.
Yeah, so he was already well regarded as a pilot because he could maneuver the Badlands. Now he spent 7 years as the helmsman of Voyager through a billion scrapes. Like he's gonna be an in demand once he gets through all his, glad handing and promotions and debriefings and all that jazz. Like if he still wants to be in Starfleet, like he's gonna be in a heck of a demand. And I'm a little surprised that he didn't come in with at least at 3 years like a lieutenant commander pips. I think that would have been a subtle thing, but I think it would have been a good thing. Like it would have made sense. Like everybody gets a promotion. It's like you were kind of capped off where you could actually how high you could come up the ladder because there's only one room for one captain, one room for first officer. Like if they had been back in the Alpha Quadrant by then, Tuvok probably would have had his own ship at some point. If they'd been back in the Alpha Quadrant, he probably would have had his own ship. So, like, there was a bit of a ceiling on how high you could go. So everybody who's kind of been stuck in the same rank because we need so many ensigns, we need so many lieutenants, we need so many lieutenant commanders, so many commanders and one captain. So like we can't.
And yet Harry is still an ensign.
Yeah, which I think is which is I think it's it would have been nice if they'd.
He and Boimler should start a band, the Unlucky Ensigns.
But yeah, I think it would have. It's a funnier joke that neither of them were promoted, but like if I was going for more realistic on this, I would say that like they should both be like up a rank, just for being on Voyager. Just if you were on Voyager and survived, you go up a rank.
Harry. At least Harry should be, because he was the golden child, you know?
Yeah, well, yeah, he made no major mistakes. There's like he made mistakes, but he didn't make any, things he was at the fault of usually.
Well, aside from that one with the with that cloaked ship.
But yeah, for the most part, he was an exemplary Starfleet officer the whole time. So, like, at least lieutenant. And there might be might be captains scrambling to get him, and it's like, hey, let's just make him a lieutenant commander. I want him. But I don't know how much.
Imagine him being like, "Hey Tom, guess who's a lieutenant commander?"
Which also brings up the question of, okay, talking about the people. Voyager itself, like, what's going on with like like the Corps of Engineers, like that thing's in dry dock being picked apart for all of the stuff that happened to it. It's like, oh yeah, we have just walking with a crew member. It's like, oh yeah, that was from the Kazon. We had to patch that with this. Yeah. Okay. And they're just going through and fixing it the way it's supposed to be fixed.
And all of those little additions that they picked up from the other species they met along the way, like, oh, that's a plasma converter that we picked up from the Chakuzan, you know?
Yeah, it's like there's probably a lot of that. It's they
straight up went Borg. They straight up went Borg in the Delta Quadrant. It's like, your uniqueness will be added to our own.
No. What they do is they go ahead and get my favorite engineer from DS9. Why can't I remember Cole Meany's character name? This sucks. My brain is just going. I can remember the actor. Dig him out of teaching at the. Let's see, Miles O'Brien. Yeah, they pulled Miles O'Brien out of teaching at the academy. And it's like, okay, you helped to put the Cardassian stuff and the Federation stuff together on DS9. Could you help us figure out what the hell's going on Voyager? It's like go get B'Elanna. You and Miles O'Brien are going to go through this thing, and you're going to talk about what the hell you did to this ship.
Because they even have Borg technology on that ship.
Yeah, it's like, well, that's going to be classified. Check, that's going to be classified. That's classified. That's classified tech. That's classified tech. That's classified.
I'm pretty sure B'Elanna would either be burned, as in like a spy would be burned, or be given a rank given her rank just because of how classified her intelligence is at this point.
It's like, yeah, all that stuff you did to Voyager, yeah, you're not allowed to talk about it because we're
Yeah.
still not sure what all's going on there. And once
We
we
need
figure
you
out what we're gonna keep and what we're not gonna keep,
pick up this giant pick up this pad that's got like terawatts worth of pages. It's like, I need you to sign this NDA here, 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 and here.
yeah, there's a lot of, like, yeah, again, all of them are gonna get visited by temporal mechanics and Starfleet intelligence, and the Starfleet Corps of Engineers is gonna be like, hey, can you come up here and explain what the hell you did? Because wow. But getting off of Voyager for a second and back to the thing, and then we have the B plot. Well, A plot or B plot, depending on which way you want to look at it. They were both kind of there. Was
And
the
a C plot.
with the whole mating post,
Yeah.
which that is the most cat answer to that.
That box thing, yes.
It's like,
Oh, that's the stuff.
and it's brilliant work by
Yes.
Mariner. It's like, yeah, I'm if I do something stupid, they expect it. And it's like,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like,
and
bee in the shuttle. How did a bee get into a shuttle in space? I don't know. Blame the bee.
but the bee in the brig, it's like,
Yeah, the bee in the brig. It's his fault, not mine. Technically her fault because bees are pretty much all females.
but yeah, I mean it. So yeah,
And
that's
all the stereotypes that they like, they didn't know anything about each other because they never dealt with each other. It's like, I thought you were with I thought you two were together. It's like, what? No. You and Rutherford together?
Oh, it's
No.
more like a pet.
Yeah, he's like a pet, bruh. No, ew, no, ew.
And I could hear it. Thousands of shippers cried out in agony.
Oh no, they're not gonna cry out in agony. The fact that she was flustered while talking about it, oh, she does secretly have feelings for him, but she just doesn't want to let on.
Yeah,
Because she's playing
exactly.
too cool. She always plays it too cool and plays it too close to the vest on those sorts of things. So she just doesn't want
The
to let
more she denies it, the more it's true.
So,
you.
question: if she just wanted the box, couldn't she have just made one with the matter maker, whatever?
Replicator.
Yeah.
No, because there are pheromones in that box from
Ah,
all the other horny cats that came before her.
that's just nasty.
I know,
I
right?
wonder if she could get holodeck
Like,
time
you're-
to recreate that.
It's like you're holding an ancient sex toy. It's like an ancient kitty sex toy.
Hmm.
Ew, ew, ew. Girl, you broke it. Oops.
I would go to the med bay and get tested.
Yeah. No, but it's so old though. I mean, most viruses and bacteria don't last forever.
Yeah, but these are space viruses.
Yeah, but do you still
Yeah,
besides the main one you have to worry about is Toxoplasma gondii, and I don't think that lasts decades on a surface.
Now, never ask an officer how they came back from the dead.
Although this at least at least this is like giving you a reason for all the times that characters came back from the dead in Star Trek now.
Yeah, true. So have you heard about the Dark Mountain or the Black Mountain? It's like,
Black
no.
Mountain.
Like, no. And just
And
the
it's like,
expression on his face, like,
yeah,
uh-huh.
as he's going on, and it's just like, so did they ever tell you how he came back? No. Man, that's lame. They never tell us anything. They're so lame. Like, maybe they're just trying to protect us. Nah, that can't be it. They're just lame. Poor traumatized Rutherford.
It's like, I'm gonna remember this forever.
No, he doesn't. He could just erase his memory again.
Erasal protocol deactivated.
Although then he'd want to know again, and that would just be a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Who erased this? You did. What? No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that Doctor Who episode.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, why do I keep on forgetting her name? The green chick.
Tendi?
Yeah, Tendi. She's a badass.
Right? She doesn't like to be a badass, though. She does
makes me really uncomfortable.
She's like the dominatrix that afterwards is like, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Did you enjoy that?
Yes.
Here's a juice box and some cookies to get your blood sugar back up.
Oh God, she's Fluttershy.
Oh my God, dominatrix Fluttershy. Tendi is dominatrix Fluttershy.
Oh God.
And that probably exists somewhere.
Oh, must definitely exist.
Note to self: draw Tendi as dominatrix Fluttershy.
Okay.
That is a strong ass plate.
I know.
God
You
damn.
see, what I would have expected and thought would have been like fitting would be it survives all that crap and then he slams into the door and it shatters.
Yeah. Like, I'm getting a little bit worried about all these fumes because you are talking to a plate.
That's okay. I like it. You're Tom Paris. It's okay. And I mean, Tom might appreciate that fanboyism, but I would just find that really creepy.
Like, why do you call it that? Because it's faster to say the way. No, it's not.
Actually, it does save time.
Yeah, that actually does save time. Also, the fun part of that is because that is how it's classified in reference. Just like the comment about TOS.
Those old scientists, or something like
Yeah,
that.
those old scientists. When the original series, it's like, Spock and them, TOS. Those old scientists.
Alright, I already talked about the B theme, but I just like ramming speed. Bloop.
Yes.
Damage report. Nothing. That was
Okay, that was weird. As Boimler's getting his ass beat by Tom Paris, that's just like suddenly.
And I love that nobody tried to stop him from
I
beating
know, right?
Boimler up.
They're just like staring at him like, that's one of our people, man. Yeah, go ahead. He's a lower decker.
At least we think it's one of our people.
And nobody asked why he ended up looking like that. Like, it's Boimler. He's probably doing something stupid.
The other thing is if some of them weren't really privy to what that Mariner was off with Tendi at the time, it's like, yeah, he probably got scammed into something by Mariner. That's usually how it goes. He tries to keep reining it in, and
what were you and Mariner doing this time? And did you use protection? It's like, yeah, I had my batlet. All right. Okay, that's okay then.
Oh, I just realized something. Those I don't know what their actual names are, but the aliens that they're like playing.
The
I want to call it.
Nausicaans?
I want to call it pool.
Yeah, the pool-like game. That's a Nausicaan.
Okay. Do you know what they reminded me of?
What's that?
They
What?
reminded me of Predators from Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, it's a little. There's a little bit of that, but it's funny because that's. I don't remember what the situation was, but the Nausicaan was also the whole reason Picard has an artificial heart.
Oh.
Yeah, because same reason actually. They were playing either Pool or Gotta Scott, and Picard picked a fight with them because they tried to cheat him or scam him or something, and he was outnumbered and he got stabbed in the heart, and so he had a artificial heart to replace his first one. If I remember correctly, Jack is the one who saved him.
That's good.
Crusher's husband.
Anyway, anything else?
Nope. And you guys went on a really long tangent.
Well,
I
I
think
mean, it
that's
was our
correct.
first really looking into when the time was, because this really, like, it started, the questioning started when we had Riker, but we were like, wait till the show says it, and then just sort of, I picked around Memory Alpha for a second, and like, oh no, this is when this is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Um, which is also, what's kind of funny is, I know this isn't canon because it's off on it's a video game, but in Star Trek Online, where they have a whole arc that you go to the Delta Quadrant. I think it's been 20 years. Yeah, I think it's been 20 or 30 years. I think it's 30 years. And by that point, uh, uh, Paris and Harry are both captains.
Oh, I want to listen to Tendy's music.
I know.
Klingon acid
That
punk.
acid punk sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Well, I
seems
mean,
like
Klingon in general sounds awesome. I still, once I master Klingon, I'm intending to translate Worf's Revenge into Klingon.
Nice.
but yeah,
Like, that is like the main reason I'm learning Klingon, to translate Worf's Revenge into Klingon.
Yeah. I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Anyway,
But I mean, for now, I know how to say "hater's gonna hate" in Klingon. Mush wipu.
well, the thing about Klingons is it's either usually what you don't hear a lot of in between, like you don't hear a lot of Klingon country music. It's either sort of a sea shanty sort of thing, or you hear this acid punk thing, and it seems like Klingons would have, like, they would have a, like, if you think humans often have an edgy phase, can you imagine Klingon adolescent edgy phases?
We seen a bit of that during the episode where the doctor had his fake family.
Wasn't there an episode where like Worf somehow went through puberty again?
No. He wasn't even one of the ones that got de-aged. It was Ro, Picard, and Guinan.
Okay.
But he did have a son.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they did show flashbacks of Balana going through puberty. Well, not going through puberty, but like in her adolescence. So
Okay.
right
Okay.
before her dad left because he couldn't handle two Klingon women.
Yeah,
And that's
good.
and that's why she tried to make Meral more human, because she's like, imagine, you know how hard it is dealing with me. Now imagine dealing with another one of me. It's like, I would deal with 1,000 of you. It's like, aw,
Well, and morale will be even more diluted. Like,
yeah,
because, like, she's half, and I think, yeah, Balana is half, and then morale will be a quarter.
yeah.
So, like, I
She's
think
already human, mostly human. Although she does look pretty Klingon, her
yeah.
grown-up self.
Well, she might grow into those ridges, and they may look big now, but as she
No, no,
grows,
no.
the
I mean, in the flash forward
okay,
during the last episode,
okay,
when he goes and helps Admiral Janeway go back in time.
Hmm.
She looks pretty Klingon.
Maybe the Klingon genes
They're
have
pretty
a
dominant. Actually, she looks a lot like her mom.
yeah. That's not that surprising. Yeah, you'd think though that her uh,
They're not like super, they're not like overly Klingon like a lot of them, but they're still pretty prominent.
yeah.
Damn. I don't want to wash my laundry on that head.
I want abs that defined.
So, damn, girl, you work out?
Anyway,
That's Dex's eyebrows every time you do the chicken dance. That's Dex's forehead when you're doing the chicken dance.
Anyway, anything left to say about Lower Decks? I know we spent most of this sort of putting Lower Decks into sort of context.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay.